Hello again, Real Women of Philadelphia. This is Brianna, and today we're going to be making a dessert. It's a really great spring and summer treat called the Tropical Cream Surprise Muffin. Now, I got this idea because, as you know, here in Ontario, it's finally starting to warm up, and today has been a beautiful sunny day. And I also noticed that my bananas seem to be rotting in my fruit bowl. So what better idea than some banana, pineapple, coconut muffins? Of course, with pineapple flavor Philadelphia cream cheese. So these muffins are really exciting because instead of having the Philadelphia cream cheese as the icing, there is a Philadelphia cream cheese surprise inside. So we're going to get started right away by mashing up our bananas. We're going to make sure that they are nice and mashed. I use 2 medium-sized ripe bananas. And again, these bananas also came from my farm share. It's really great because although we don't have bananas here in Ontario, because this is a really big farm share, they're able to trade some of their locally grown Ontario produce for some produce that is grown in other countries as fair trade. So we are lucky we get some delicious bananas in our basket every week as well. So I've mashed the bananas up really good. It looks like it's about 1 cup. Usually you can average out and say that 1 cup of mashed bananas usually is about 2 medium-sized ones. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. We're going to add our liquid ingredients in first. We'll mix all the wet ingredients together, and then we'll do the dry ones after in a separate bowl. So I'm adding in 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and I'm also adding in 2/3 of a cup of crushed canned pineapple, and I've drained off most of the liquid from that. Of course, you're still going to have a little bit of liquid left as well. I'm also putting in 1 large egg and 1 container of single-serve yogurt. So that's about 100. It's a 100-gram container. But if you don't have the single-serve yogurts, then you can always use about 1/4 cup of yogurt from the container. You could also substitute sour cream if you'd like as well. But I like the vanilla yogurt because it adds a little bit of sweetness as well. And then you're going to have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So we've got all those wet ingredients in there. I'm going to start up my mix master here. So we've got our wet ingredients all mixed up together. Now we're going to combine all the dry ingredients together in this mixing bowl. So we're going to start with 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. And as we're adding the dry ingredients, the oven should be preheating to 350 Fahrenheit. Great. And we're going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. We're going to be putting in 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and of course, if you think that maybe your baking powder isn't doing the job anymore, you can put a little bit in a glass of water, and if it starts to fizz right away, then it's still working. And that's actually why I had to buy a brand new container of baking powder this week, because I tested my old baking powder and it was not fizzing at all. So I knew it wasn't going to do the job I needed. And then we're going to also add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there. And we're just going to mix everything all together here. Now I should also let you know, you're probably wondering where that cream cheese ingredient is hiding right now. Before I got started on the wet and dry ingredients, I actually made up my tropical cream surprise beforehand, which is actually really easy. Just 1/2 cup of the pineapple Philadelphia cream cheese with a 1/4 cup of icing sugar, and you mix it until it's really nice and smooth. And then you form it into 12 little balls and put those balls on a sheet, and you just pop them in the freezer for about 20 minutes. So they've been freezing the whole time we've been mixing the ingredients together. So they should be ready very shortly. So I've got all the dry ingredients mixed. I'm just going to add them right into the wet ingredients here. A little bit at a time, about half at once. And now I'll mix it at a low speed until it's just combined. You don't want your muffins to be tough, so you don't want to over mix them. So I've prepared my cupcake or muffin tray with baking liners sprayed with some non-stick cooking spray. And I like to do this because I've had one too many muffins stick to the liners, even though, of course, that's what the liners are supposed to be there for, so that they don't stick. So I've gotten into the habit of lightly spraying them with non-stick spray so they pop right out and you don't get any of that yucky liner sticking to your delicious muffins. So now that the batter's all ready, I went and took the Philadelphia cream cheese icing balls out of the freezer. They are actually quite solid now. They're still a little sticky, but that's okay. You just want them to be nice and cool and firm so that you can place them in the center of your dough. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some dough, put it into our muffin cup. It should be about 3/4 of the way full. You are then going to take one of your Philadelphia cream cheese icing balls, and you are going to pop it right into the center of your dough. Now you're going to make sure that the dough covers the icing ball. That's where the surprise comes in. We don't want to see it. All right, so I am going to repeat that with each of the 12 muffin cups. Make sure that it's about 3/4 of the way full and put my little surprise in the middle of each one. So I've got the muffins all ready. As you can see, you can't see the surprise at all. So now that they're all ready, I'm going to just pop them into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. So my muffins are all ready. They've come out of the oven, lovely golden color on the top. And just to finish them off, I've sprinkled them with a light dusting of powdered icing sugar. And I'm so excited to bite into one to see the beautiful tropical cream surprise.